It was a quiet evening at one of New York City's most exclusive restaurants, a place where celebrities, billionaires, and politicians dined under the soft glow of golden chandeliers. The air was thick with the scent of truffle pasta and aged wine, and the quiet hum of conversation created a symphony of wealth and privilege. At a corner table, sitting under the dim glow of a designer lamp, was Barron Trump, dressed in a tailored navy suit. His presence commanded attention, but tonight he was hoping for a peaceful dinner. His father had taught him that public perception was everything, and even in the simplest of settings, he had to maintain a sense of control. He glanced at his phone, briefly scrolling through news articles dissecting his latest academic and personal achievements. It was just another day in the life of a Trump. A young waiter, no older than 22, approached the table nervously. His uniform was crisp, but the slight tremble in his hand as he held the notepad betrayed his inexperience. "Good evening, sir," the waiter said, his voice slightly cracking. "Welcome to Le Chateau. My name is Daniel, and I'll be taking care of you tonight." Barron gave a small nod, glancing at the menu. "Thanks, Daniel. I'll have the filet mignon, medium rare, and a bottle of the 1996 Chateau Margaux." Daniel hesitated. "Sir, I just need to confirm, do you want the full bottle? It's quite expensive." There was a brief silence. The air suddenly felt heavier. Baron looked up from his menu, his expression unreadable. The room seemed to still for a moment as nearby patrons subtly turned their heads, sensing the shift in energy. Barron set his menu down slowly. "Excuse me." Daniel immediately regretted his words. He swallowed hard, his throat dry. "I just meant it's one of our rarest bottles. I wanted to make sure—" Barron leaned back in his chair, a half smile forming on his lips. "You wanted to make sure I could afford it?" Daniel's face turned pale. "No, sir, I didn't mean—" Barron sighed, rubbing his temple. "Tell me something, Daniel. Do you ask every customer that question? Or just the ones with the last name Trump?" The murmurs in the room grew. A couple seated nearby exchanged glances, and a businessman at the bar smirched, waiting to see how this would unfold. Daniel's hands clenched slightly, his breath shaky. He had been working this job to pay for college, and now he had just insulted one of the most powerful names in America. "I apologize, Mr. Trump," Daniel stammered. "It was a misunderstanding. I didn't mean any offense." Barron studied him for a moment before picking up his water glass, taking a slow sip. He had been here before. This wasn't the first time someone had made assumptions about him because of his last name. Some people expected arrogance, others expected him to act entitled. Tonight he had a choice to make, prove them right or show restraint. He sighed and set the glass down. "I believe you, Daniel. But you need to understand something." Daniel nodded quickly, eager to fix the situation. "Of course, sir." Barron leaned in slightly. "The moment you assume something about someone, you risk disrespecting them. It's not about the money. It's about respect. If a man walks into a place like this, dressed like I am, sitting at this table, you don't question whether he can afford his dinner." Daniel's eyes widened. "I understand, sir. It won't happen again." Barron studied him for another second before exhaling. "Good." He then glanced at the menu again. "Now bring me the bottle and add a glass for yourself." Daniel blinked. "Sir?" Barron smirked. "You need to know what a $3,000 bottle of wine tastes like. Consider it a lesson in treating everyone the same." Daniel hesitated before nodding quickly and hurrying away. As he left, Barron could feel the eyes of the room on him. Some people looked amused, others disapproving. But he didn't care. People had spent their whole lives forming opinions about him, most of them wrong. Tonight, at least, he had chosen to surprise them. When Daniel returned, he carefully poured Barron a glass, then hesitated before pouring himself a small amount. He lifted it nervously, and Barron raised his own glass. "To lessons learned," Barron said, tapping the edge of his glass against Daniel's. Daniel exhaled, smiling for the first time that evening. "To lessons learned." As the night went on, the restaurant's hum of conversation returned to normal, and the moment slowly faded. But for Daniel, it was a night he would never forget. And for Barron, it was just another reminder that sometimes the smallest interactions could define how people truly saw you. And tonight he was okay with that.